Today I have a really big book haul to show you. Maybe 30-ish books to show you. It's unreal. I need 2 piles. I can't even have these books in one pile. The first pile is going to be falling soon. Oh, my camera battery is dying, so I'm gonna hurry up. The next 2 books that I have are actually like collectible type books that I got because, in case you don't know, I really love the Barnes & Noble leather-bound classic collectible editions because they're just so pretty and they're a really good price. So anytime that they come out with a new one, I'm always like, oh, I need this. So I have 2 of those right now to show you. The first one being A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine Lang. I can never say her last name. Madeleine L'Engle. I have the Wrinkle in Time here. I'm really happy about it. It actually says Wrinkle in Time Trilogy, so this might actually be the 3 books. Oh, it is. It's A Wrinkle in Time, A Wind in the Door, and A Swiftly Tilting Planet. I'm really looking forward to just like adding this to my collection. I read all of these when I was younger, so I don't necessarily have to reread them, but it's just so pretty. And look at the back. The back is really pretty too. I'm gonna put it a little bit forward and hopefully it's focusing. I think so. It's just gorgeous. Like, and look at that spine. Ah, it's so pretty. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. Like, they just do such a great job, and all the end pages are gold and shiny. Like, they're just really such attractive books. I just can't resist them ever. And the second one of that being another one that's also very shiny, and that is The Snow Queen and Other Winter Tales. So this is going to be a really great read for the winter. There's a girl on the cover that looks very similar to Elsa, in case you haven't seen her. Frozen is based on the Snow Queen fairy tale, so that is probably why she looks like that. I don't know if you can really tell, but the cover is like kind of shimmery, which is nice. And then it has silver end pages, which almost looks like a mirror in the camera. Cool. And then the back is also, again, really pretty, and there are all these like foil, there's like silver foil on it, and there's also little blue snowflakes, which is really pretty. They're just gorgeous. They're just really gorgeous books, which I keep saying, but it's true. It's true. Then the next 3 books that I have are these ones. The first one is The Assassin's Apprentice. The second one is The Royal Assassin, and the third book is The Assassin's Quest. And all 3 of these books are by Robin Hobb, and they together make up the Farseer trilogy. And this is a trilogy that I just keep hearing about, especially from Samantha from Novels on Nonsense. She is like obsessed with Robin Hobb, and I watch all of her videos, so every time that she talks about Robin Hobb, I'm just like, oh my god, I need to read some of her books because she is really into fantasy, and we always tend to have like a lot of similar tastes in books, so I really trust her opinion. And since Robin Hobb like is her favorite, I'm really excited to like finally read this trilogy. And then again, like another just endorsement of it is my friend Alexa, who writes the blog Alexa Loves Books. She did a really wonderful series called Voices in Fantasy, and she interviewed a whole bunch of YA fantasy authors and asked them like a lot of interesting questions, which you should absolutely check out, and I will link some of those blog posts down below. One of the last ones that she did was with Susan Dennard, and each author that she interviewed, she asked them what their top 5 like fantasy recommendations are, and I believe the first one that Susan recommended was the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, and she just said that it is like the ultimate fantasy trilogy. So again, that's like a really good endorsement, and I'm just really looking forward to reading these, even though they are really long. Like the first one is not so bad, the second one is pretty big, and then the third one is enormous, but it'll be worth it, I'm sure. The next book that I have here is Star Wars Aftermath by Chuck Wendig, and this is another one that I am like pumped for because this is actually going to be the first book that is going to be considered like part of Star Wars canon. Once Disney bought Lucasfilm, they were like, all right, we're throwing everything in the EU just out the window. EU means extended universe, and they're just starting over and creating their new canon, and this is the first book that is going to do that. I would imagine that it takes place right after Return of the Jedi, so that it is like the first book that is telling you what's happening after Vader has been destroyed. And it just looks really, really cool. And I've heard that they introduced like a gay character into it, which is nice. So there's going to be more diversity in the Star Wars universe. And I just think that it's going to be really cool. Like, I'm so excited to be living during this time where we are getting a new Star Wars movie, and it's going to have the original cast in it, and the prequels don't even count, so don't even say that I'd already lived through a time when we had new Star Wars movies, because I didn't, because these were the first ones to come out. I'm really excited that Disney is taking over, because Disney is magic and they just create wonderful things time and time again, and I'm like so excited that Star Wars is in their hands right now. The next book that I have is a book that I already did a video on, and that is Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone, the illustrated edition. This is one of the new ones from Scholastic. They sent it to me for an Instagram campaign, and I was so happy because it's so beautiful, and I had pre-ordered it anyway, so I was getting this no matter what. But they're going to be releasing a new one every single year, which is going to be like so nostalgic and amazing, and I'm just going to like look forward to these releases constantly. Maybe I'll even get some friends to make t-shirts again with me for them, because that's how cool I was in high school. Yeah, so if I will actually link my other video down below. I made a video talking about all my favorite illustrations from this book, so if you're unsure of like whether you wanted to get it or not, or you wanted to wait, you can check it out and see some of the things that you'll be missing if you don't pick it up, and that will be really sad because everybody that's a Harry Potter fan needs this in their life. The next book that I have is an art book, and it is The Art of Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the book, I guess, is edited by Wayne G. Hammond and Christina Scull. It has never before released artwork from Lord of the Rings. It just shows like everything, like, whoop, I'm dropping things out of it. I don't think you can see anything that I'm really showing, but sorry about that. But it just goes in depth, like, about a lot of the different artwork in Lord of the Rings, and it's just beautiful. Like, it's something that I needed. The second that I saw that it was being released, I pre-ordered it. I think it was like last year sometime, and before it even had a cover, or before I had any idea like what was really going to be inside it, I was just like, okay, yes, I will buy this. And I did, and it's really pretty, and I'm glad that I did. So this is another thing that I'm happy to have. I had such like a great month of fandom books. It was wonderful. The next book that I got is an updated arc of Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I talked about this book a lot in my video about like the books that I was most excited for during BEA, and then I talked about in my BEA haul how I was kind of disappointed that even though I waited online for maybe 2 hours like just to get this book because that's how amazing it sounded to me, I found out that Alexandra Bracken didn't actually know that they were going to be handing out arcs, and that it was completely like an unfinished version, and she had already had a much more up-to-date version. So I was torn on whether or not I was going to read it, but luckily this showed up in the mail, and I'm really, really happy about it because this is like much closer to what the final version is going to be like. I believe The Passenger comes out on January 5th, so I just have to read it. There's time travel and pirates. You might remember me saying that from the last video. Time travel. Pirates. Yes. I'll leave a link down below because I talk more in depth about what it's about in that video. Oh, so happy. So happy to have this. Next, I have another book that is a Disney book, but it's kind of different than the story that we're used to, and that is Never Never by Brianna R. Shrum. This book is told from Captain Hook's perspective, and he's actually friends with Peter Pan, and Peter takes him to Neverland, but he's always wanted to be an adult. Peter's always wanted to stay a kid, and he gets trapped in Neverland, so then he's in this place where he can't grow up, and he just like wants to get out. I always just find it really interesting to read about villains and read from their perspective and just find out more like into their mindset, and I love Peter Pan. So this is a book that I also like had pre-ordered for months and months and months because it just sounds so good. The next book that I have is Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stohl, and this was actually sent to me by the publisher for another Instagram campaign, and I'm really excited about this one because it's about Black Widow, and she is one of the best characters in the Avengers movie, but we do not have too much background on her. So she's a character that is very like closed off and private, and she's had like an insane history with her whole training on how she became who she is. And I've heard from other people that have read this already that It really gives you like a good look into her, and like you get to see a lot of like the monologues and stuff that go on in her mind that you really probably would not be able to get anywhere else, because she is so complex and she is so secretive about her past. So I am really looking forward to like being able to read an in-depth account of her history and told from her point of view, so that you can see like exactly what it is that she went through and like how she became Black Widow. Next, I have Ruin and Rising, which is the third book in the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo, and this is a book that I also pre-ordered and got in August, I believe it was, and that is because I have Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm in paperback, so I was waiting for the Ruin and Rising paperback to come out before I picked up this one, and now I have it, and I'm very happy about it. And it was actually really cheap on Amazon. I think I only spent like $5 or something, which is pretty awesome. But again, I'm probably going to read Six of Crows before I start reading this trilogy. Oh, so many books, guys. The next book that I have is You're Never Weird on the Internet, Almost, by Felicia Day. And this was sent to me by Simon & Schuster for review, or for review consideration, sorry, not necessarily for review, but unfortunately I'm not really enjoying it as much as other people have been. You can see like where I am. I've read the majority of it, like I really don't have too much left, but I put it down probably like a month ago and I haven't felt any motivation to pick it back up. It's a nonfiction book about her history, and I really love the Guild, and I really love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I really love Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, so I thought that I was going to be like really into this and really like engaged the whole time, and I was just bored. Like the whole thing I was just so bored, and it makes me so sad because a lot of other people have seemed to enjoy it. I don't know if maybe the end of the book is like amazing and totally makes up for the rest of it, but for me it's just like not really doing it. But I'm gonna try to finish it at some point, just because I hate having anything like just sitting on my Goodreads shelf as currently reading. Like I need to just finish it so that I can get it off of there, and that is like the main motivation of me finishing it, which probably is like not a good reason, but it is the reason. Next, I have another book that was sent to me by the publisher for review, and I did a giveaway for it, and it is called Once Upon a Time, Red's Untold Tale. So anyone that watches Once Upon a Time will be familiar with the character Red. She is somebody that does not have too much information about her backstory, so a lot of people are really interested in reading this and finding out where she was while she was gone, and I need to catch up on Once Upon a Time before I can read this. The last two books that I have are not books to read. They are recipe books about pie, because it is fall and there's nothing that I want to do except eat lots and lots of pie. And I'm planning on baking something from one of these next weekend on Halloween, and I'll probably post pictures of it on my Instagram. But I love pie and I love cookbooks, and I have a lot of cookbooks. I should like show you guys my cookbook collection at some point. Oh my god, I forgot to haul the most important book of all because it is already sitting so beautifully on my shelf, so please hold one moment. Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I cannot believe that I forgot to take this off of my shelf to show you. I've been looking forward to this for so long, and my friend Melissa is probably going to murder me if I don't read it soon, because she literally texts me every single day and says, have you read Queen of Shadows yet? Because her heart is broken and she needs to talk about it with someone. I think everyone is familiar with the Throne of Glass series, and I'm sure that everybody has just been hearing about Queen of Shadows nonstop. But I'm really excited to read it, but I'm just nervous because she's made me really scared, and I'm also not looking forward to having to wait so long until the next book. So yeah. So that is it for my August, September, and October book hauls. I apologize that this video is so very long, but I have 3 months of books to show you, so the next one will be a little bit shorter. Yeah. That is it for this particular video, and I will see you guys soon with a new one. Bye!